One of the most common mistakes I see gardeners make is dumping organic matter into the soil all at once and calling it, building structure. They'll till in a load of compost plant and expect the soil to stay loose, drain well, and feed crops for the whole season. But what actually happens is compaction, uneven breakdown, and roots that struggle once that initial fluff collapses. Soil structure doesn't come from bulk organic matter. It comes from layers applied deliberately over time. If you want soil that stays open, drains properly, and supports biology year after year, you have to stop thinking in single amendments and start thinking in stacked systems. If you care about growing better food with fewer inputs and less correction later, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Everything here is about methods that hold up after seasons of real use, not advice that only works on paper. One of the advantages of layering organic material is controlled breakdown. When everything is mixed, microbes burn through oxygen and nutrients quickly. That can lead to nitrogen tie-up or, temporary anaerobic conditions. Layers slow this process by separating materials based on how fast they decompose. Fast-breaking material like fresh compost or green plant matter stays near the surface, where roots can access nutrients quickly. Slower material stays deeper, feeding fungi and stabilizing structure over years rather than weeks. In my beds, this means I'm not constantly re-amending to fix collapse. The system maintains itself. A good rule I've settled on through trial is keeping no more than 1/3 of any layer made up of fast decomposing material. Anything more than that tends to slump or compact within a season. Poor drainage is often blamed on soil type, but in raised beds, it's usually a structure problem. When soil is uniform from top to bottom, water either rushes through or stalls completely. Layered organic material creates micro barriers that slow water just enough to let roots absorb it without drowning. In beds where I've layered straw and leaf mold beneath the soil surface, moisture stays available 2 to 3 days longer during summer heat. That's not theory. That's measured with probes and confirmed by plant behavior. Leaves stay turgid longer and irrigation frequency drops. This matters even more in shallow beds. A 10-inch deep bed without layers dries out fast. The same bed with layered organic matter holds moisture more evenly from top to bottom. Roots don't grow toward nutrients as much as they grow toward oxygen, moisture, and open pathways. When soil is layered properly, roots explore deeper and more evenly. In my tomato and pepper beds, layered soil produces deeper root systems and better drought tolerance compared to fully mixed soil. This is one reason excessive fertilization often backfires. If structure is poor, nutrients concentrate in pockets and roots never reach their full depth. Layered organic matter spreads biological activity vertically, which encourages roots to follow. In hydroponic soil systems, I've seen similar behavior. Containers with layered fibrous material support more even root distribution and fewer dead zones compared to uniform media. If you want proof that layering works, watch what soil life does. Worms don't thrive in uniform soil. They thrive where carbon gradients exist. In beds where I've layered cardboard or straw under soil, worm populations increase within weeks. They pull organic material downward, further improving aggregation. Microbes behave the same way. Fungal networks establish in carbon layers, while bacteria dominate nutrient-rich top layers. This division of labor is what gives soil resilience. When everything is mixed, that balance collapses. I've dug into layered beds after 2 seasons and found distinct horizons forming naturally. That's not something you get from dumping compost and tilling once a year. The biggest mistake is rushing the process. Gardeners want instant results, so they over-amend and overwork soil. Layering requires patience, but it pays off. I rarely disturb beds deeply once layers are established. Instead, I add thin layers on top each season and let biology do the rest. For maintenance, I'll add 1 inch of compost and 1 inch of straw or leaves in fall. Then another thin compost layer in spring, that's it. No heavy digging, no constant correction. This approach works just as well in small backyard plots as it does in larger raised systems. It also scales down to containers if you're thoughtful about proportions. The long-term benefit of layering organic material is stability. Beds don't slump as much. Drainage stays consistent. Roots go deeper. Soil life stays active. Yields improve not because of higher fertilizer input, but because the system works more efficiently. In side-by-side tests, my layered beds consistently outperform mixed beds after the first season. The mixed beds might look better initially, but they lose structure fast. Layered beds improve with time. This is how you build soil that works for you. Soil structure isn't something you buy in a bag or fix with one amendment. It's something you build deliberately, layer by layer, season by season. When you respect how organic material breaks down and how biology moves through soil, everything else gets easier. If this kind of practical, tested knowledge helps you grow better food, subscribe to the Husbandry channel and share this video. The more gardeners focus on structure instead of shortcuts, the better our gardens and our harvests will be.